Hello everyone and welcome to episode 18 of Dying Light 2. We're going to jump in exactly where we left off, which, as always, I don't exactly remember where that was, but we will discover together. I know that we had gotten the moonshine for the two people that were in jail, and we're waiting to see how that plays out. I'm assuming it's incendiary, or this alcohol is so mythical that it can burn through steel bars or something. Otherwise, it's hard to know. Maybe they're going to... I honestly can't tell. My best guess is that they can make it explosive in some way and execute some sort of an exchange. So, I did not realize that we had a bounty to defeat enemies with drop kicks at night, although I'll be happy to do that. Let's check our journal. So we do have more book club missions, and let's see what's closest. We got this. I would love the ability to hide quests that either I'm not going to do right now or don't really intend to do. Like, I can't do the grappling hook one right now. Former paratrooper. Declan. Find the Carriers Guild headquarters. Oh, right. This is something that we just picked up last episode. That's new. And hello to Hickey. Hickey, I hope that the rest of your Saturday's been going well. Something big has been here. Kill the remaining goons. Now, do we have... Oops. Do we have any quest markers on where the remaining goons live? Because I feel like we don't. I feel like we're supposed to stumble across them as we go on about our lives. Yeah. What's this? That's the Lost Light. So that's our actual story quest. We may just go ahead and do that. And then this one over here is actually the Carriers, which is in the opposite direction. That's quest 3, or sorry, quest level 3. And so is this. And I don't see anything about more goons. How about we go find the Carriers? Because this might unlock some additional missions and stuff. We will go head in this direction. Going pretty good. How about you? Today has been productive. Working on some side stuff in the background and enjoying some fantastic streams here on Twitch. Got a chance to hang out with Samalander and Mia. Regrettably, Patikin did not stream, but Jelly Buns is actually... We can't sell anything here. I wanted to sell any extra weapons that we picked up. Jelly Buns is actually doing a subathon right now, so full disclosure, my intent at this moment is to raid over to Jelly Buns... Sorry, sir. Raid over to Jelly Buns at the end of the stream so that we can help out with that subathon. But yeah, on the whole, the day's been, yes, very humid here as well. Like, pretty much feeling like this might be the first day that we put on the air conditioner, but we haven't yet. Because the thing is, it's not hot, like, at all. It's a weird thing. You know, they always say that it's not the heat, it's the humidity. Today it's not even hot, but man, is it... Hold on. I was just checking the, Oh, well, see, that guy doesn't care about going into the mist. Sir, if you want to leave and go rethink your choices... Yeah, look at that, he left. Here's the thing, I don't get anything by killing that guy. I mean, like an infinitesimal amount of experience points, but really what I wanted were these mutation samples. And hello to Odez. Odez, I hope that you're having a great Saturday. We were just catching up with Solid Chrome Hickey about the fact that, like, yeah, the humidity today is up there. I'm hoping that as the sun goes down, for those of you watching in the VOD at some point in the future, we are recording this episode. What time is it? Yeah, a little bit after 6:30 in the evening. So as the sun goes down, I think it's going to get a lot more comfortable. If not less humid, then at least, you know, drop a couple of degrees and... Whoops. That was completely the wrong button to do a drop kick. I do not remember. So I had not... So I haven't... Okay, there's a lot of thoughts coming up. As recently as last episode of this, I finally finished my thought about how Street Fighter 6 is just a marvelous looking game. Like, I don't often play fighting games. I'm not very good at them. Like, my friend HW was, like, super good at the fighting games that he elected to get into. He was, like, really into Injustice 2 at one point, and just absolutely crushed it. Like, he played all the way through the story campaign. He got into a guild. He was doing, like, some online stuff. He, like, that game had, like, its version of, loot boxes were called, like, mother boxes, so you could, I think it was all cosmetics. Actually, I'm trying to remember if there was... Oh, that was... I thought that was a guy. I didn't realize it was a zombie. Not that it should have made that much difference, but I thought he was guarding something. I don't remember if there was... I think there were gear upgrades, but in multiplayer, you could choose not to have, like, the gear upgrades on and stuff. There was a lot of game to Injustice 2, and the point is, he did a lot of it. And Injustice 2 was, like, it's a really good-looking game. It's very fun to watch. I was never good at it, but it's fun to watch somebody who's good at it. Street Fighter 6 is amazing. Like, if you get two people that are just even slightly evenly matched, the matches themselves are just a spectator's delight. And I really want to make it clear... Whoops. Oh, boy. Nobody that we know in the community is currently, like, doing any Street Fighter 6 streams or anything like this, so this isn't, like, a call-out or an advertisement for any specific person. It's just... It is amazing what a good job Capcom did. Did somebody just say, come on? Wasn't that guy? I could have sworn I just heard something. Anyway, so I want to get, I guess, in there. Can I just read very quickly the quest thing? Journal, yes. Nope. We want... Oh, it is already selected. Hold on. The city is home to many organizations. One of the more interesting ones is the Carriers Guild. At first they seem like simple couriers, but they are much more than that. A carrier must be strong and fast, my kind of job. Oh, hello to Jab, who is currently crafting. Here people are told, but it's a dry heat. Like, let me put it this way. There have been days already this year that are, like, surely warmer than it is today, and this humidity makes today much less comfortable. So I surely get the whole, it's a dry heat thing. But yeah, like, if like, this came up in a stream earlier today. If I watch people play Magic the Gathering, I have absolutely no idea what's going on. Like, the artwork on the cards looks cool, and that's about as much as I understand. Like, it's... For people who know and invest in understanding Magic the Gathering... Okay, I don't know that I'm ever going to do a crouch jump, but let's get the increase overall speed and mobility while sneaking. That's down here, basically. And similarly, like, I mean, I guess I understand the basics, that if this person accelerates their fist towards that person's face, that's a punch. Like, I do understand that much about Street Fighter, but... Like, when you just watch two people, and they don't even have to be, like, grand masters at it. I've searched this side of the building twice now, and I'm not sure how to get in here yet. The answer usually is up, so let's go up. Yep. Just immediately. Capcom has designed a fighting game that is just a delight to behold. It's the way that you would want other fighting games over the years to have looked. And it just seems so dynamic. Like, everything connects the way that it should. Okay. I was thinking that maybe we could open that, but not yet. Yeah, it looks like we're supposed to... Well, this might be a safer thing. Oh, I was trying to figure out how to drop. Hello. He does not want to talk to me. Okay. Hello to Jody K. 120 degrees Fahrenheit, 0% humidity is fucking hot, but 180% is unbearable. Sweating is useless. It's a little bit how I feel right now. Wow, this went much further than I expected it to. I'm now on the roof. Oh, and by the way, none of this is to say that I intend to play Street Fighter 6. I maybe just because I haven't seen any of it, but like it doesn't seem to have a story mode. Like, I'm not good at fighting games, but I really like the story in Mortal Kombat 9, in the first Injustice. I've heard that the story in Injustice 2 is really good. Like, there's a lot of... Like, I like those stories, the ones that NetherRealm is doing specifically. I have no idea the quality of the storytelling in Street Fighter 6, so I can't really speak to that. But otherwise, it feels like... See, yeah, I don't think that I can interrupt this descent. Although, interestingly, I don't want to, because we didn't quite go down far enough. This is... Okay. I feel like I want to start over on this. Well, I'm not gonna... Yes, okay. Well, close. There we go. I will say this, though. Oh, because this is why I suddenly brought it up. It's not just me repeating the same thing that I said before, where we have new content, which is to be visited just after this.
I'm looking for the Guildmaster. Driscoll, I was told.
Well, that'd be me. And who are you? It's not often I see an unfamiliar face. Not from around here, I gather.
No, and I'm looking for work.
Sorry, pal, but this is a special organization. You can't just waltz in off the street and get a job here.
I'm not waltzing, yeah? I don't even dance. Nicholas sent me. He gave me this letter.
Well, that changes things. If Nicholas sent you, then we can talk. He's a good bloke.
Look, you said you were a special group. What's so special about the Carriers Guild?
We work for the people, not just for cash on the barrelhead. Carriers deliver packages and letters all over the city.
I did a lot of that as a pilgrim. It's a valuable service.
It's priceless. And not just because of the fees we collect, you merc. Packages and letters are information. Information is the lifeblood of a society. It's also the connective tissue. Brings people together. And it can tear them apart.
Yeah, I definitely get that.
Ah, like hell you do. Pilgrims are just pure play. You don't have any higher purpose. But carriers, the carriers are the trusted stewards of this system of information and connection. In our way, we safeguard society, protect and defend information. We keep people connected to one another.
I see what you mean. It sounds like a huge responsibility.
Damn right it is. Which is why not every Tom, Dick, Harry, or shady pilgrim is cut out to be a carrier.
Please, I just want to help. Is there anything I can do?
Yeah, you can just bugger off. Have yourself a wonderful day.
Sorry. That was... Sorry. Hello to Scaly One. Odez has, Wait, that's not right. Odell's. Sorry, I might have gotten it wrong. Odell's has just finished the DLC again. I've not even seen the DLC. I'm not sure what it is. And B, that was such an introduction for that guy to say, yeah, I got nothing for you. Bye. Sorry. So, okay, but we're going to try this again, yeah?
Hey, are you sure you don't need me? Looks like you're running low on carriers.
Aye. Things have gotten more dangerous than usual lately. Maybe I'm trying to do you a favor by not bringing you in at this particular juncture.
I'm a pilgrim. I know danger. Outside the walls, danger.
Oh, do you now? I tell you what. How about I give you a little test, and we see how that goes?
Works for me. Test away.
Okay, hotshot. Let's see what you're made of. First, you need to make your way to the top of a building nearby and bring back a package that was left by one of ours. Should be lying somewhere by a tent.
Is that all? Don't go anywhere.
Okay. Apparently... Oh, that's on... I thought it was, like, up. It was actually just on the compass. So, Odell's, let me ask you a question. Hopefully a non-spoilery question, because this is my first playthrough. I keep hearing word about, like, the update, the big update, the Dying Light 2 update. What is the update? Like, what is this big parkour update? Or, sorry, it's been described to me as being a parkour update. And when it's come up, uh-oh. I really need to start scanning these guys to see which ones are the plague carriers, so that I can... maybe not burst them right next to the person that I'm trying to protect. Although he seems fine. Sometimes they're not fine. I think it's specifically if you untie them. Oh, sir, can we wrap up our business very quickly? Okay. I am actually going to do something that I usually don't do, which is take advantage of some tools I might have, like this fire resistance booster. Which oh no, this is crafting. Yeah, let's replace this. Do I have a okay, no, it's down here. Let's... yeah, do I have a fire resistance booster? I don't. Can I craft one? Fire resistance booster. Yes, I can. So, sure, let's make one of these. And then let's actually take it. I'm gonna go here, and... I'm very glad that that guy who's on fire is so patient with me. We want to go... yeah. Yeah, let's get rid of this one, or take this one out for now, and we will go to... fire resistance booster. There we go. Okay, and now I want to... sir, I'll help you defeat this monster in just 1 second. Let me just take a huff. Oh, that was actually not the one. How did I screw this up? I'm sorry. Where is the fire resistance thing that I built? There it is. I mean, so the thing that I took by accident is actually a regeneration booster, so I'm also happy to have that. There we go. And we know that the explosion radius on that is like a quarter mile. Now that one I will accept the damage. Yeah, the fire resistance is definitely helping, because I've stepped into his flames multiple times, and between the resistance booster and the regeneration booster, I'm at max health, so that went really well. Okay, and we got some more mutation samples, which I'm happy for. That may or may not have been one of the goons that we're supposed to hunt. I kind of don't think that it was. Okay. Sure. Absolutely no problem. Now, I can't climb this, right? This isn't like a... no. All right. So, I need another way to get up 70 meters. And it looks like our journey might begin with a single step. Nope. Can I feel like I should be able to get to that ledge. There we go. So, what I'd started to add to what I'd said about Street Fighter 6 is that I have not watched the videos yet, but apparently James Stephanie Sterling has also now like weighed in on Street Fighter 6 and really likes it. And I would like to go check out that inhibitor container, by the way. So I guess if I can pick up whatever I'm supposed to, and then we're going to head back down, I would like to get that. I want to see the rest of the video. Of the small section that I saw...
Got it. That was easy.
That was quick. Not bad.
That was a test? I barely broke a sweat.
Hey, don't get cocky, hotshot. That was just a primer. As you'd guess, delivering messages will take you through areas swarming with infected. And sometimes, at night. For this test, you'll need to pick up 5 letters that were dropped in a dark zone when the previous carrier was being chased by the infected. You'll need real skills just to survive, let alone succeed. Piece of cake for a pilgrim, though, right?
Yep. This sounds more my speed. I see you soon.
Okay. But one of the things that, and as far as I know, James Stephanie Sterling is still cool with people going with like Jim Sterling, which is traditionally how I've known them. If that's incorrect, I'll be happy to go by Stephanie Sterling. I just don't know. You know what? Maybe I'll go with Stephanie just to be on the safe side, because I'm really not looking to be wrong on this. So Stephanie Sterling did this video where she talks about, I think it's they talk about, we're already here. The struggles of wanting to play a fighting game, but not being able to do so when, as they put it, they have, a memory disorder, I think is specifically how it was put, that makes it impossible to remember the various button combinations and stuff. Like, they described watching their brother be able to play and like really liking watching fighting games and wanting to participate, but simply not being able to remember and then execute the various commands to do like the special moves. So you just can't hang if you can't like learn how to do that, and characterize or attributes a lot of that to having attention deficit disorder. I know very little about this, but the upshot is there's apparently something about Street Fighter 6, and again, I need to watch the whole video to work it out. I think that we've got it. Okay, we're most likely going to go deliver these now. But I would like to get those scratches if we could. Hello to Harmonious Crow. Oh, Crow. Oh, gosh, this just happened in App Stream. It was... Oh, right. I don't remember the name, but somebody was just in there talking about how they elected to stop being a mod in somebody's channel because the streamer was like requiring them to be there and on duty at all times. The head mod would like send out like flash alerts and like, we need you to report in and like log on to the stream right now or else and stuff. Like, Aquila. Whoa. All I can say, and, you know, as always, people are welcome to run their streams and their channels in any way that they like. I'm not here to judge that, but yeah, I would mostly want people who, like, come here, hang out here, might someday consider modding for this channel, like working at, you know, being a mod. It's cool anytime you can stop by. Your participation is tremendously valued, and you are under absolutely no obligation to disrupt your normal day if you've got other things to happen. This is a video game stream. I'm gonna have some fun playing video games. Mods can be so valuable to just making sure that the experience is the best that it can be, both for the streamer and also the game. But at the same time, it's gonna be okay. That person's not gonna be okay. This person is basically having the worst time of their undeath. But yeah, I wanted to tread a little bit lightly coming over here because we've got some friends. Jody K said that she would quit, and Harmonious Crow said that she did and felt much better. They were yelling at her for not having Wi-Fi while she's moving. Yelling at her for any reason at all would be unacceptable. Yeah, as Jab says, if you're not paying your mods, you have absolutely no claim on their time. I was sort of lurking and working on another project when all of that was unfolding. That was very recent, actually. We might have been getting ready for this stream happening right now. But to the extent that Aquila is in any way interested in the opinions of internet randos that she doesn't know at all, I strongly approve of the decision to say goodbye to that needless responsibility. I cannot wrap my mind around the idea of saying to unpaid volunteers that they are required this and required that. Basically, I think that the base requirement of a mod should be to represent the channel well, both while you are modding and also in other channels. Like, I would not feel good if somebody who modded for this channel was perfectly fine in this channel, but then acted the fool on some other channel. Like, I don't think that that would reflect well, and that would be a problem for me. Fortunately, our mods here are fantastic. Apps mods are fantastic. From what I've seen, Clay's mods are great. It's wonderful to be in a community where there are so many people that are willing to volunteer their time to help provide the best experience for the viewers. It's just difficult for me to imagine wanting to place more pressure on that. And yeah, I saw that, Crow. You were saying, as I said, unless the streamer is one of those 500 plus viewer stream types. And Aquila, you might have said this here, but was like, said that this person hovers around 80. Which is, like, don't get me wrong, any size stream is likely to need some sort of moderation support at some time. But, like, not 24/7 support. Like whatever's happening there. So if I could possibly clear these guys out without... Oh, hold on. Without making a ton of new noise. That'd be pretty cool. Oh, I honestly thought that he was doing another forward swing. Okay, as always, I kind of felt like I was far enough away. Okay. I think these guys are called goons, so I'd want to shout goon down, but then suddenly I'm self-conscious that I'm not using the right monster term for them. Yeah, as Crow says, a mod or two maybe, but not like every mod every time, which is apparently what Aquila was being demanded to do. That doesn't seem like a very good way to build a community or to demonstrate respect for the mods. Darn it. I dawdled. Okay, yeah, there's definitely something more here. I do not want to pop that kerosene barrel or whatever it is. Because that's going to make a lot of sound and draw all of them here. Hey, wait a second. You can open up... I didn't know that there were, like, hatches on tanks that you could open up. Look at this. We found some MREs and military med kit. Is there anything else in this area, then? Oh, that's an arrow. Yeah, Crow, I hope you're having a good Saturday so far. I think last we spoke, you were going to go check on Azzy. I hope that the doggos and the husband are good. Oh, and by the way, yeah, keeping an eye out on Black Book for the Steam Summer Sale. For those of you in the VOD, we're recording this about a week ahead of the Steam Summer Sale. I have to say there's nothing that I'm like, oh man, this is definitely going to be up there. But just a couple games that we have, like, eyes on. And by the way, these have all been on sale, but it's just sort of been like when its time is going to open up or whether or not they'd be on a deeper sale. Terra Nil continues to look interesting. It feels like Terra Nil from some of the reviews is a little bit light on... Okay, but I don't really want to do that. Can I just... Yeah. Prefer not to have that blow up. I was trying to get the arrows. And I'm not, like, Mr. Content. I'm not here to say that every game needs to have 500 hours of content, but when you read some reviews that indicate that they blitzed through the game in, like, a couple hours and didn't feel like there was a lot left, there can be two ways to read that. Some people speedrun games. They perceive no value in going back for a higher score. How do I keep missing these arrows? And sometimes games just actually are, like, they're very, very high quality experiences for a comparatively short amount of time. And if that's the case, that's fine, but you want to know what you're in for. And I'm sort of looking at Terra Nil and saying, this seems like something that I will enjoy, but since it hadn't sort of like come up in the queue yet, like when it would be a good time to play it, I've been like, I'll wait. You know, we've got some time for additional sales to come along. Crow says, if eating freshly grilled, or broiled as you Americans call it, peaches from our own tree on top of caliche, which I've not heard of before. Crow is fortunate putting in frozen custard. Sprinkled with chocolate is an indicator. Yeah, it's a good day. Crow, that sounds amazing. I think shortly before you arrived, we were talking about how today is not the hottest day that we've had so far this year, but it's one of the most humid, and I can do hot, but the humidity.
Not bad, hotshot. Not bad.
That hardly qualified as a test.
Ha! This last one, mate. You come face to face with customers. This is what the job is about. Connecting people through the letters they send and receive. Reconnecting our fractured society, so to speak. This is where you prove your true worth.
I can handle it. Believe it or not, I'm sort of a people person.
Oh, you could have fooled me. But I have to admit, you're not a fragile type. I'm starting to see some potential. Pull this off, and I might consider letting you take the carrier's oath after all. I just better not get any complaints from the clients.
You won't. I promise.
Now, before we go... Oh, there's a tape right there. I was about to say... Okay, I want to listen to the tape. Before I do, though, hello to Radio Cure, who says that they're hoping for a discount on Age of Wonders 4 based on hearing good things about it. Add me to the list of people who are saying good things about it. I have played between 60 to 70 hours of Age of Wonders 4, and as a refreshing change for a Paradox game, that's actually a fairly accurate count. It's published by Paradox. It's a Triumph Studios game. It's great. Like, they're already looking at adjusting some things that people would like to have a little bit more, like, differentiation as it moves into the end game, and they're adding back in, like, one of the, like, the Seals victory style, victory condition from Age of Wonders 3. It's great. It's a great game. Like, if this is the worst that Age of Wonders 4 is going to be, and then they're going to continue to build on this template, I am enjoying it very much. I'm also enjoying quickly looking to see, it is, yes, so the sun is starting to go down. Do we have, so we do have a GRE anomaly that we could do right there. Like, we're pretty close to it. But if we could go do a thing, like a camp, whatever it's called, quarantine building, that would be actually perfect. Or, hold on, let's go do this. The closure side quest, it's fairly high level, but I keep not doing it because I never want to fast forward to nighttime. So this would be a great opportunity to go do this. I know that we're, like, applying for a job with the carriers, and now I'm immediately going off to, like, shirk my duties, but this is the way open world games work. Yeah, Radio Cure. I am not good enough at Age of Wonders 4 to know strategy or to be able to comment on balance or anything like that. What I can say is that I made a character based off of some characters based off of people that are in chat or in the community, and I've had a fantastic time with it. I've been playing the campaign through on normal difficulty level. I've hit one... I want to say it's either the 4th or the 5th mission where the difficulty has ramped up in a way that feels extremely appropriate, and I would like to play some more of it.
No one in the city does better.
It's just been busy with some other projects. Let's sell, like, as I, sort of believed, we have a lot of extra weapons. Most of these things just straight up sold. Okay, yeah, this level 6
I'm always in the
thing.
market for these.
I really don't think we're going to use this Mohawk hammer. This is a long axe, which I don't know if that's a two-handed weapon by, virtue of being long or not.
Thanks, citizen.
I feel like all these blue objects are probably... A glaive... Hold on. This glaive does seem pretty good. It's a level 6 weapon, which is somewhat better... So this is what I'm using right now, I think, the sign. I can't mod it, but it does hella damage. And then the railing is also 314. Okay, there's no good call for me to use this glaive then, so we're going to sell it.
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll sell that. Hold on. Let's sell this level 5 axe, because now I've got this level 6 machete. It's only one-handed. Okay, let's sell that. All right. Gloves. Okay, so we do have gloves. It's 2 better armor, which is pretty good, but I lose a lot of bonuses. I lose 0.1 points on damage for two-handed weapons. However, the combat XP, the survivor sense duration, yeah, that doesn't seem so great. Now, this seems pretty damn good. Damage resistance poison, and during the daytime, although not quite as much. Yeah, it's a little bit of a drop. And a little bit of a loss... You know something? I'm not going to spend my life on this. Let's buy these guards, and I'm going to go ahead and put them on. Because they're more armor, is my logic here. So let's put those on. Boy, all of that red doesn't make it seem like a great deal, but I'm going to do it nonetheless. And then let's sell all of this extra, like, armed stuff.
Citizen.
Hold on just 1 second, because there's a lot of stuff in chat that I wanted to take a look at, and it's tough to run and read. Crow is saying that she's been playing Forever Skies, which is in early access, but played the demo a while ago. Also, it's 105 degrees for them today. And meant to be hotter tomorrow and even hotter on Monday, 109 or something. Wow. Crow, you know this. Is it tedious for me to say, please drink lots of liquids? I know that you'll take excellent care of the dogs, but just don't neglect yourself. More water than you think you might need is probably a good rule in temperatures like that. Jab is saying that it really annoyed him with the Rage 2 reviews. Oops. It just scrolled. All they did was required missions and called it short. It's a 24-hour game if you do something. That's long for a first-person shooter. Radio Cure is saying that's great to hear. The custom faction creator is a big selling point for me. I never got around to playing Subnautica, but I recently got scuba certified in real life, which makes me curious to check it out. I think Forever Skies is it... Wait, is it really? I hadn't heard of this. Forever Skies is a spiritual successor to Subnautica? Crow is saying it's got some elements and some of Raft. It's still in early access, but if they carry on the way that they have been, it's very promising. Just the short story missions that she's done so far have been very cool. And yeah, congrats on your certification. Hello to No Oats, who's saying, does the 0.1 changes in damage really affect gameplay? I've always felt that they might be false choices by game devs. I don't think it's intended as a choice. I think it's like, hey, it's not quite as good in this one thing, but I get +1 armor. So that's why I was like, yeah, I'm not going to feel that difference, but I may feel the +1 point of armor. Radio Cure is saying, I didn't realize how much work it would be or how scary it is to be underwater.
You'll come back, won't
Oh,
you?
wait. I
Anything
didn't
we got
sell.
could be yours.
Right, because it's on its own little thing. Yeah, all
Make
this
a
stuff I can
tidy
sell.
resale profit.
I have been scuba diving. I am not like a certified scuba instructor or anything like that. Also, apparently I have level
Man,
6
you got
gloves.
some
Is there a
good
reason
shit.
I'm not wearing these? Oh, well, the significant drop, it is to me a significant drop in damage to the two-handed weapons. Yeah, from 8 to 6. I know it's only 2%, but it's 2%. And also, I wouldn't get my combat XP bonus. And I don't care very much about the Survivor Sense duration. I'm going to sell the orange gloves.
Wish I
That
had
might be
more
an
customers
unpopular
like you.
choice, but I'm an unpopular guy. Yeah, so here's the cool thing about
Good
the custom
timing.
faction
Someone was
creator.
asking about that.
You can choose what you want your race to look like and then adjust their, in Age of Wonders 4,
Totally
and then
needed that.
adjust their sort of physical and mental characteristics to adhere to a style of play that you find the most interesting.
Sounds a papa.
Now, the side effect of this is that if you see cat people or dwarves, you like you don't just automatically make any assumptions about like
You
what
rock,
they're good
citizen.
at. Dwarves aren't necessarily good at digging around underground. They don't necessarily have higher constitution scores or whatever. But that's
Been
good because it
dying
makes the
for one
world
of
feel
these.
more varied. It does mean that the visual design of your race is purely visual,
Don't forget,
but it also
best
means that
stuff
you
is
get to
right
play
here.
into whatever sort of like I'm trying to think of the exact phrasing that I want to use here. Whatever sort of like fantasy concept that you can think of. I want to play as a race of toad-like people that excel at living in the desert and are also, they also have like, well, actually, this might be mutually exclusive. I was about to say have poisonous skin, but I think that that would be mutually exclusive with the being great at living in the desert. I might be wrong. Okay, I'm just double checking that we are heading towards this quest here. I don't want to go downstairs.
It's a shame to admit it.
Okay, that's gonna go bad. I meant to pop off the railing and failed. Now, one thing that has been a point of feedback about Age of Wonders 4 that, I mean, I haven't played enough to reach this point, but because of the way that you can unlock additional tomes of magic in the game, it's a very dynamic system, and as far as I'm aware, there's no upwards limit on how many different tomes you can get. So you might go in thinking, okay, I'm really going to go down the line of like chaos magic this time and this. And then when you get into the world, into the game, you find that based on your circumstances, maybe there's a different like school of magic that it just makes more sense to invest in based on what you have available and who your neighbors are and what you think might work best. So you can adapt your strategy as you play. And that's awesome. Like, that's a really good feeling when you're like, the story is told in the gameplay. It's not something that's decided at the moment that you press, like, start playing the game. So that's really good. A side effect of that has been, as the game goes on, you can eventually get access to so many different tomes that a lot of the endgame factions are going to feel kind of samey because, like, everybody starts getting some of the same tomes, so you start seeing some of the same spells and units appearing for all factions of the game. That's something that they're working on patching. That's like explicitly in their roadmap that they want to address that. Okay, so this is going to fast forward us to night, but that's exactly why we're here. It's 1800, so...
What happened?
I'm a pauper, brought low by my own family.
Who?
Yes, my own flesh and blood have brought me to this dreadful state. My own kith and kin. How can they be so unreasoning? So beguiled by phantasms? Woe betide them, woe.
Are you gonna tell me what's going on?
My papa, my dear papa, departed this vale of tears a month ago. And his siblings, my Loathsome aunts and uncles. Oh, I spit at them. Went mad with grief. They travelled dark paths and found an infected with the power to raise the dead. Ever since, they've been offering valuables to the creature, beseeching it to bring back my dear departed papa.
They really believe that?
Yes, they think their offerings will make the foul beast grandpapa a new life.
Seems people need something to believe in, whatever it may be.
Oh.
And what does this have to do with your poverty?
It is all papa's valuables they've taken to use as their offerings. When I tried to stop them, they threw me out of the house. I'll have nothing left. Only memories of papa and a gaping hole in my heart. I'd go to that altar myself, retrieve his belongings, but I'm a frail man. But you seem like a stout fellow. Perhaps you'd go there and retrieve his treasures for me.
Well, if it means so much to you, I can try.
Ah, lion-hearted. I will reward you 100-fold. They make offerings in the evenings, so you have to go there under the cover of night. You'll find his belongings in willow-lined chests. You can wait here for the sun to descend from the sky. I'll be waiting for you in my crib on Lower Dam Air, on the garrison. The entrance is near the old hotel, by the canal. Farewell.
Farewell.
Okay, there's a virtually 100% chance that Oswald Cobblepot there is, like, stealing his family's stuff, or even some stranger stuff. Okay, so I didn't press down. Darn it. Okay, well, let's go check out this side quest as well. Oh, that was the... Here's the side quest. A different side quest. The side quest that we were just looking at. The thing is, like, if the worst negative that I can say about Age of Wonders 4 is that, according to other people, once you play on a single map for, you know, 7 hours, all of the factions in the environment start to feel a little bit samey. You still had an amazing time. Like it's just, they really nailed it, man. They really nailed it. Okay, I was told to do a cool kick, but and like, the thing that they nailed is... I was a little early on the block. I liked Planetfall. Age of Wonders Planetfall. Planetfall was a pretty good game. And you can... I feel like I'm really hitting it with a lot of faint praise here to say, like, you can have fun with it. Planetfall had some downsides to it, and I've talked about them a little bit in, like, at least previous Age of Wonders streams. The voice acting was awful. Like really aggressively, ear-splittingly bad. I really dislike the voice acting in Planetfall. I actually had it turned completely off for a good chunk of time because it's really that bad. It's possible that if you're out there and you've, you know, played Planetfall, you're going to say it's not that bad. Okay, hold on. But I really found it objectionable. It's tiresome, it's tedious, and the thing is, it feels intentional. Planetfall. It feels like... Dude, alright, hold on. We need some... Yeah, hold on. I need... Let's go, yeah. Let's go here. I would like to please have... Oh, we don't have much of anything, actually. All right, let's go to crafting. So I would like to have two things, I think. An electricity resistance booster. We'll craft one of those. And then I would like to have some regeneration boosters, which may or may not have been upgraded. Or exist at all. Here we go. Yeah, let me... Ooh. Apparently I can do a total of 4 on those, so we'll just go ahead and craft max on those. Okay, now I should probably have more than just these weapons. Let's get our railing ready, and we do want something fast. Sure, a unique long mace. We'll give that a shot here when we need it. All right, and now I don't feel like I need more melee damage right at this moment. Nope, hold on. Let me replace this one. We're going to take our regeneration booster first. Did I... What the hell? Muscle booster? Oh. No. Muscle booster, endurance booster, military med kit, immunity. You guys, what have I done? How did I... Regeneration booster. Didn't I... I guess I didn't hold down the button long enough. Radio Cure is saying, I haven't played any of the previous Age of Wonders games, but I really got into Civ 6 over the past year. I have trouble actually finishing games in Civ, though, because they can drag on for what feels like forever. I don't think you'll have that issue with Age of Wonders 4. There can be a point when you're reaching for the magic or the territory victory where you sort of just have to, like, defend for a bunch of turns, but that is nowhere near as protracted. And I say this as a fan of Civ 6. I like Civ 6 a lot, but sometimes, like, some of those victory conditions can take a good long time. Hold on. There we go. Just have this. And I'm going to actually have a bandage here. We'll just get our health back up. No problem. And there was one other thing. Did I ever get my electricity booster plugged in? Let's replace this muscle booster for electricity booster. Okay. Now we're ready to rumble. The fact that these guys can and do hurt each other is really great. Okay, yeah, thank you for killing that guy. I probably don't get any XP credit for it, but... Oh, and another thing that Age of Wonders 4 does better, and this is going to sound weird, like, hello to Grumpy. You would think, like, oh, a big fantasy battle with, like, large armies on either side. This is going to be great. Well, in the larger sections of Age of Wonders 3, and more so in Planetfall, it just started to feel unwieldy. That you would have, like, these large 6 stacks of 6 versus 6 stacks of 6 units going at it. It's like there's a lot happening there, but it is a lot of guys, and it's just a lot to keep track of on the map. And also, again, I liked Planetfall. It was a pretty good game. Hold on, what am I looking for specifically? I don't know. Oh, right, there was going to be a quest here, but it's nighttime now, so that person probably bugged out. Sorry, not glitched out, I mean, like, left. Okay, so let's go do this closure mission that requires it to be night. In Age of Wonders 4, the maximum battle size is three stacks of 6 versus 3 stacks of 6. And again, that might sound like, oh man, they don't have, like, the really big battles anymore. Like, the big battles still happen, they just sort of happen over a couple of engagements, and at least I have had the experience of, like, okay, I'm going to send in this team of guys. They're not going to win, but if I can soften up this enemy enough, then I'm going to bring in the big guns later this same gameplay turn, rather. Okay, I don't... All right, go up, though? He does not want to go up higher than this. And he doesn't want to jump higher than this either. Okay. Then I guess I'll go around. So it just makes the battles feel more... It's less about, like, having a big kick in the balls contest over, I'm going to just one-shot your entire army, and more about, like, okay, I only get to bring a certain number of dudes in here. Who are my best dudes to fight who he's going to be marshaling as his best dudes? And how do I make sure that this engagement comes out to my success? And you can pull off some... really satisfying upsets by, like, bringing the correct hammer for that specific nail in Age of Wonders 4. And the smaller sizes, they just, Oh, damn it. Yeah, well, that's gonna be a thing now. I probably should just, like, leave here. I'm not actually sure how to get out of this enclosure. I guess this is it. Okay, recover valuables from the altars at night. Is this an altar? Nope. It's also interesting to me that Age of Wonders 4, which is all about, like, dwarves and elves and goblins and, like, this interdimensional battle between these wizards from the astral plane, is so much more comprehensible to me than Victoria 3, which every once in a while I will look at the, like videos about the latest patch or update for Victoria 3 and just continue to be absolutely befuddled by how the game works and what you are supposed to do in it. And I don't mean that as a criticism about Victoria 3. I can't criticize Victoria 3 because I don't know how the game works or what you're supposed to do in it. Moo is drilling holes in walls.
I have everything.
Says Grumpy. Okay, so we recovered the valuables. Is there something else cool that I can do tonight? We could go here, because this is something best done at night as well. Is there anything else cooler or better? Not really. Yeah, let's go head over there and do that. One thing that Planetfall did that I think there's only the barest hint of this in Age of Wonders 4. Planetfall had a branching narrative inside of its single-player campaign. I hope that killed that asshole. Oh no, it started a chase somehow. I think the Howlers, I'll say this, I like this game a lot. The Howlers seem like bullshit. Watch this. Let's extend the chase, everybody. Kick that person into the railing, killing him instantly. And yet, I assure you, the game will treat it like he got a yell off. Okay, fortunately, we are... Damn it. Where we wanted to be. So I think that if we can sort of, like, get our ass in here... we'll be all set. So yeah, I don't want to say every single mission, but multiple times through the various single-player campaign missions in Age of Wonders Planetfall, there will be some sort of significant decision, and it's rarely, if ever, a do you want to kick the puppy or pet the puppy? It's usually, you can choose to finish this mission by pursuing one of a couple mutually exclusive objectives, and the one that you choose is going to then impact how the story and your available options play out the next time. And the factions definitely feel very unique in Planetfall. The issue for me with Planetfall is that, okay, are there like 100 guys in here? What the hell? Hold on. Let's switch to our bow. That's still not how you do the bow. Okay, should probably have less flashlight. In Planetfall, the game mechanics themselves could be so sophisticated that it could honestly be difficult to keep track of how the factions are. Okay. I shot that guy. He went ahead and had a full-bore freak-out. Oh, you know what it is? I'm not zoomed in. I think we get like a big damage bonus if we do a precision shot. Oh! I would like to say that I did that on purpose, but that 2-for-1, that was video game magic. 1 arrow, 2 kills. Check this out. Oh, the only thing that would have been better if they had their skulls staked together like we were playing Painkiller. Oh. This guy probably has figured out I'm not on his side. Oops. Okay, Oh! I mean, I can do fire too, I just don't want to waste a Molotov. Okay, this is not cool. Nope, that's not, nope. So I'm so pressing the wrong buttons here. Hold on. It's just, I'm on fire a lot. Who did that? Okay, can we... I don't know what he's doing. I don't know why he's rolling. What I need is to not be shot for a few seconds. Okay. As Radio Cure says, this game just got a lot more Skyrim. This is... So, again, it's been too long... Well, when I say again, Radio Cure, I don't think that you've been here for, like, the previous conversations on this. I can't really speak to, like, Dying Light 1 because it's simply been too long. But I'm really enjoying Dying Light 2. Oh, okay. He gets light me on fire through the walls, does he? Well, I get axed to death. I was not able to drop kick him to the ground. The other thing, and I'm not going to spend the whole episode on this topic, but there was one other thing about Planetfall that really got under my skin, and this appears to be hyper-specific to me, in that I've never seen anybody else... How do you not have this? I've never seen anybody else complain about it. Like, I even went looking for mods to see if this bothered anybody else, and I can't find any mention of it. One of the factions in Planetfall is the Vanguard, and they are one of the factions that I'd probably be the most disposed to wanting to play, because their whole thing is being very high-tech, very defensive, in that they can sort of like set up defensive barricades. Not as defensive as the Devar, but... Oh, I don't know that I can... I can indeed get up here. Go up. Up. Go up. There we go. The thing is that the Vanguard have, like, their baseline level 1 infantry unit is called, I think it's like a Sentinel or something like that is the name of it. But it's basically squad of guys with Space Marine rifles from, well, any sort of Space Marine. Their attack animation is so long. When you fire an arrow, like elven archers in Age of Wonders, they draw back their bow and they shoot it, and the shots hit, and they make a satisfying connection, and then a bunch of damage is done, and, you know, it's over. You move on. In Planetfall, the attack animation on these Sentinels, they go rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat, 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 and then the damage is applied. Like, if you do, like, it takes so much longer than it should, that it's so specific to that unit. There is no other unit in the whole game that you're sitting there like, really? We're still doing this. And the thing is, they're your level 1 guys, so you are very likely to be starting off the game with like squads of these guys. And every single time you do an attack, rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat. It's just, it takes too long. Again, I'm the only person who this seems to bother, and it is one unit on one faction in the whole game. The trouble is, it's like the faction that I most want to play, so it's like... And also, just so you guys know, you can right-click at any time to speed through the attack animation. So this is really not a crisis. It's just... It's one of those things that it's so bothersome to me specifically that I look at it and say, how did nobody in playtesting, nobody else was bothered by this? Nobody else said, can you just, like, maybe speed it up a little bit? Speed it up by 20%, it'll probably be fine. Oh, Radiocure has also played this game. I'll probably return to the world to run and jump around from time to time if they continue to update it. So, Radiocure, then, do you know, because this had come up, it has come up a couple times, apparently there's some sort of, so DLC 2 has been, oh boy, DLC 2 has been delayed until early next year. I saw that announcement. But as recently as June 20th, which is, as of this sentence, 4 days ago, they did some sort of like a stream for their upcoming update, like the next big update, which has been described as being like the parkour update. Do you have any sense on like what specifically it is? Because I'm having a great time with this game as it exists today. I haven't really felt the urge to like set it aside. Like every once in a while, they'll be like, oh man, that next Stellaris update, that looks awesome. Like, I don't want to play a lot of Stellaris right now because I'm waiting for the next expansion, the next big patch, the next rebalance that they're going to do. Indeed, actually, this also came up. When it became clear that the Dragon's Dawn DLC for Age of Wonders 4 was right around the corner, I sort of set it aside for a little bit. Not because I wasn't having fun, but I was like, well, these maps can take a while. Like, it's a big campaign, and my time is a little bit limited. So what I'll do is I'll wait for Dragon's Dawn to come out, and then I'll pick up this next campaign mission. This is, I'll also say, exactly the way that I played... Oops. I was going to do a wall run. I didn't realize there were handlebars. Monkey bars, whatever they are. I would play a full map in Age of Wonders 3. It would take, you know, it would usually unfold over like a couple of weeks because I would just sort of play it kind of slowly and go through it. And then when I was, you know, that was like, okay, that's enough Age of Wonders 4 for now. And then I'd come along and, you know, wait a couple weeks. Okay, just trying to grab that. I want to have more bandages, please. So Age of Wonders 4 sort of has that going on. Like, I'll set it aside for, you know, a week or two, and then go back to it. I did not want to do that. Okay, let me... Okay, not what I meant. Alright, I'm failing at finding my way to that gold diamond, bronze diamond. It's partially, you know what it is? We've got like an extra waypoint on the screen, and let me set my current quest to something that isn't going to have a map marker. We'll go to journal, and let's change it to oh, this one. Yeah. Oh, so I have killed 2 of the remaining goons. Okay, so now I won't have so many markers on the screen sort of like confusing my vision. I have a bad feeling that I came down way too low. Like, get back into the elevator shaft and go back up kind of too low. Yeah, I'm 30 meters. Oh, boy. Now I'm going to have to figure out how to get myself back up to the... So how did I get... Oops, that's not going to be good. Okay, I don't want to stand in this. Oof. What I'm trying to do is just remember, how did I come to be in here? Ah, here we go. Okay. Yeah, I really... This is the first time that I've made a mistake of this magnitude coming in here. But apparently, there's some switch or advancement that I didn't do up here. Go X. Now I go downstairs. Yeah, okay. Pay attention to your map markers, kids. Yeah, Radio Cure, for what it's worth, like, this game is currently in a pretty steady rotation alongside Spiritfarer, a little bit of Riftbreaker, and some Anno 1800, which we actually played earlier today. Anno and Riftbreaker are a little bit more of, like, weekend games, or, like, okay, I don't know that I have a lot of time to dive into something, but I've got a couple hours, so let's jump into one of those games and check them out. But on a nice Saturday afternoon like this, Saturday evening, yeah, get some time. And my intent is a full story playthrough. It will not be a 100% playthrough, but hopefully it'll be more than not, you know, like a higher percentage of the gameplay will have been done versus just leaving it behind. So there was an interest, so the next thing that I'm about to say, I did not read the article, which is the worst way to start a conversation like this. I just haven't had a time. So when I jump into this next topic, I am not critiquing the opinion of the person who wrote the article because I have not yet read it. This is not intended to be a rundown of the article that they read or the information that they shared. But the topic, the idea was interesting, and I want to read what they have to say. Before getting in there, though, here's what the topic is and what it is. So Polygon had an article up saying that the term JRPG has always been othering, and that's just the headline. I don't know what all else is in the article. Okay, looks like we do both of these, so I might as well go do this. But based on that and the little blurb that they put in there, the premise appears to be that, you know, that calling something or referencing something as a JRPG as though it's like different or lesser is not particularly cool. And I hadn't ever really thought about it because it's one of those things where it's always been a genre to me. It's always been like an element, like there are Metroidvania games, there are side-scrolling games, there's platforming games, there's first-person parkour zombie killing games, and there are both RPGs and JRPGs. And to me, one is not better than the other, but rather this is a general description of some of the gameplay mechanics that you might expect to encounter, as well as sometimes some of the themes and like sorry, I'm trying to work out how to get over there. But it wasn't like, to me, I never thought of it as like, oh, this is what all Japanese games are. It's rather, this is emblematic of this particular genre. It's similar to, sorry, I'm feeling like we get over there. See that right there? So I'm trying to work my way up to there and just now seeing these. You know, I would think a Western RPG would be Baldur's Gate, Knights of the Old Republic, Dragon's Age. You know, I'm listing off a bunch of BioWare games here because BioWare made a lot of the Western RPGs that I really like. And these games have a very heavy emphasis on creating a character and then customizing them with skills and equipment that are perfectly viable for your playthrough, and your friend playing next door might go ahead and have a completely different gameplay experience, even while navigating through a story that's going to be very similar along most of the beats. You still have a sense of ownership over your character because, you know, my character is a light side guardian style Jedi, and you know, my friend is going to play as a dual saber staff, like lightning wielding Sith guy. And those are both viable playthroughs, and you get some moral choices that are going to inform both the content and the flavor of the playthrough that you're going through. Jody K is saying JRPG is good in my opinion. Like as a term or as a genre, or both. Whereas like a JRPG, I would say, is you're going to have some customizability. So wait, is there anything else that I want to look at down here? I feel like this is just a big cesspool, but there is something right there. In a JRPG, you might get something like the sphere grid system in whichever Final Fantasy game that was. And you might be able to overall say, okay, I want to build this character as a little bit more of a glass cannon damage dealer, or to have a little bit more survivability at the cost of overall damage output. Also, like, we should leave here, but I just want to, like, just look at that. Look at that right there. Look at how the light is spilling out of there. This game just looks absolutely phenomenal. Where should I go? Where's my exit point? Oh, look, it's the bright sort of whitish blue light that's spilling out of this narrow hallway that you can see from any point in this room. Okay, let's go back upstairs. Yeah, Jody K is saying both. And that's how I feel about it. Like, if I said to somebody, sort of like a German supply chain game, that's not intended as me saying all Germans like that genre of game. However, some of the best games that I've played in that genre have originated from German developers. And it would make sense that if you have sort of like what's the phrase I'm thinking of? A concentration of both developers and players that enjoy that genre, that culture would lead to more innovation and a higher degree of polish in those games. Now, I could be wrong, but my understanding was that Blue Byte, I believe, is a German studio. I may be wrong. Blue Byte is the company that does the Anno games, and the Anno games are absolutely fantastic. Similarly, like in board games, you'll hear the term Euro game for a board game that is sort of very like mechanics heavy and typically has like a lot of pieces, a lot of like individual parts to it, and a lot of in-depth strategy that might take a while to learn. So I sort of want to pick this up as well. Even though it says accepting this quest will fast forward you to the night, it doesn't actually seem to do that. A lesson that I probably should have learned a lot longer in this playthrough. A lot longer ago. Yeah, Jody K saying Amero trash is another common phrase you hear in, shit. Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to keep my eyes on the hag, because when she comes for me, I want to just immediately get wrecked. Shit, okay, okay. I just can't deal with the hags ever. I want to. But all I can say is that this deep into the game, when the hag lunges, there's an 80% chance that she's going to take a bite out of my neck. Like another thing is, and like I'm concerned that I am now rattling off a. Oh my God! If you're thinking why did I sit there and take that, I was 4 seconds too late on doing the dodge. That time okay. I really thought that I did those dodges. Nope, that's not gonna happen. I am embarrassed, believe me. Hold on a second. His weapon reach was just much further, and he was always like 15% faster than I thought he was. The hag is just gone, by the way. She died of old age. Radio Cure had the same trouble with hags. Never figured out the strategy for dealing with them. Like, 1 out of every 20 times that I dodge a hag, it'll do the slow motion thing, and then assuming that she hasn't like pivoted and pirouetted into some position that I can't see her anymore, you can then lay in some really good hits on a hag. Every single one of these guys is a plague carrier, I think. I promise that I'm not just standing here, like, slaughtering every single zombie for the hell of it. I was trying to get some of these dudes. So, let's go on with our lives here. But yeah, like, when somebody says JRPG, it's not even necessarily about like what part of the world that it came from or who is like what part of the world is most likely to enjoy it. It's more an overall description of wow. Hold on, I can't deal with this. An overall description of certain gameplay mechanics, and it sets like particular expectations on what I would expect to have happen after I click start game. Similarly, for like if somebody said to me a South Korean style MMO, well, a lot of South Korean MMOs are renowned for the amount of grinding that they have. That they're very fun to play for the first 7 or 15 or 20 levels, and then all of a sudden you'll hit this like, well, in order to progress, you better either be willing to pony up money for boosts or like to buy your way forward, or you're going to be killing the same mobs in the same zone for the next, 80 hours or something. I don't play a lot of MMOs at all, but this is something that is often remarked upon and features heavily into the reviews for a lot of these games. So I would like to, this all, ends with, I would like to read this article and to see more about what the author has to say about it, because I am not here to say, well, God damn it, it's this is the nomenclature we use and we'll never change it. For all I know, the author has like a good recommendation on like an alternative way to reference them, but there are mechanical differences between what I would traditionally call a Western RPG or a JRPG, and with no judgment assigned to those labels, it's no different to my mind than calling something a Metroidvania or roguelike or Souls-like. If you call something a Souls-like, you know certain things about the way that it's going to play. Here's what I would expect. Some sort of stamina-based combat system, maybe for blocking, maybe for using special abilities. Opportunities to rest and recover anytime, at certain locations. You can do it at these certain locations anytime that you want, but you have to physically get there, and it's going to respawn every enemy on the map. And a limited number of healing items that are going to be replenished in their entirety when you rest at that campfire or beacon or meditation point or whatever it turns out to be in that specific game. These are all things that I'd say would be in a Souls-like. They don't all need to be there, but those would be, I think, reasonable expectations. Okay.
Hey! Damn it! And I thought he was yanking my chain.
Yanking your what?
Your boss said you'd be here earlier.
My boss?
Your boss, Eberhard.
I don't know him.
Damn it! Sorry, don't mind me. I am Ferenc Waller. I used to be a cardiac heart surgeon.
I'm Aiden, but who is Eberhard?
At this point, I'm not sure anymore. Some guy I met said he'd arranged to recover a pacemaker from the medical offices in the quarantine building for me.
Did you pay him in advance?
I did.
That wasn't too smart.
Oh, well. I guess I'll just go after the pacemaker myself. I promised my wife I would get it, and I intend to keep my word.
Well, I'm curious what he's going to say, but for the record, a pacemaker is a device that I believe connects to your heart or heart muscles and will issue an electrical charge in the event that you need to, that the rate of that your heart rate needs to be adjusted in a certain way. So it's a way of maintaining a steady heart rate for a heart that's either damaged or weakened or otherwise having difficulty maintaining a steady blood flow.
What is a pacemaker?
It's a little shock box. to simulate the heartbeat and to keep it beating. For those suffering from damaged hearts, it was the only way to lead a normal life. They're pretty rare nowadays.
How do you know it's there?
I consulted there back in the day, so I know where they keep equipment like this.
Where exactly?
Are you offering to go for me?
Why not? If I can help. Besides, you promised your wife, right?
Excellent. The medical equipment room's on the 3rd floor, but it's dangerous in there right now.
I'll wait until tonight when the infected leave the building. Find shelter around here for now.
I'll be at the windmill. Good luck, Aiden.
Yeah, see, this guy, I'd be really surprised if he's... Oh, and look how close we are to our latest crisis. Harmonious Crow is saying that there's 3 types of pacemakers. I don't know what happened there. Nope. Apparently for heart rate or rhythm. Oh, sorry. Jody K was saying heart rate or rhythm, and then there are personal defibrillators. Yeah, I don't, to my knowledge, have any issues with my heart, but like without glasses, like corrective lenses, I would not be able to function. And sometimes I do think, like, if I had been born exactly as I am 200 years ago, well, hold on, because Benjamin Franklin had glasses 500 years ago, I'd been fucked. Like I wouldn't be able to, like, I couldn't serve in the military. I'd have difficulty serving in any sort of, like, even agricultural experience. Like, this might inspire you to think that I'm sitting here with, like, these, like, giant Coke bottle glasses, but modern glasses are, you know, thin and light and absolutely invaluable for somebody like myself who otherwise cannot see at all. And it is the miracle of living in... Hold on. Return the values, but I have to be at night for that. Okay. I feel like that's going to be very high. That's going to be difficult to do during the daytime. That's probably not available to me. Let's go check out the Lost Light. Because everything else in this area right now is... Oh, well, we could go back and do the carriers thing. Deliver the mail to the marked locations. Yeah, remember when we were applying for a job? And then, like, consider people with peanut allergies. Like, the really severe, like, anaphylactic shock versions where just, if you don't know about that and get tested for it, your little kid one day just, like, interacts with peanut oil and then they're just gone that fast. Hopefully, you'd like to believe that in another 100 years or 50 years or whatever, you know, people then will look back at some of the things that we, like, survive or make it to and be like, oh my god, how did they ever survive without the routine medical care that will be available at that time? But yeah, I frequently think about, like, man, if I'd been born at an earlier date in human history, I would be having a very bad time. Which just, I mean, the genesis of that was, like, the topic of pacemakers and stuff. Like, people who would otherwise be suffering from ever more weakening hearts, unable to exert themselves in any way, can live comparatively normal, healthy, long lives through medical innovation. Harmony's Crow saying that the pacemakers will do different things depending on what you need. Jody K saying single chamber, dual chamber, and biventricular. One of her co-workers' moms has a defibrillator, and the hospital forgot to turn it off when they started hospice. The hospice nurse was pissed when they figured it out. Sam Melander said, I'd be blind without lenses. Yeah, same here, and hello to you, Sam Melander. Harmonious Crow is saying, I'm hitting 50 soon, so only now am I starting to have issues with really, really tiny writing, so I may need to look into reading glasses. Jody K is saying, there's a reason major allergies like that don't exist in developing countries. Did you know that some major food allergies can be fixed with gut biome transplants? I did not. Is that, Jody K, is that a... Like, I'm going to use the wrong phrase here, but what is the phrase? What's the phrase that I'm thinking of that I think is probably wrong? A probiotic regimen, where, like, or is it more involved than that? Is it, like, doing some sort of a big treatment to the lining of your stomach or something? The insides of your intestines, getting all of that positive bacteria replaced. Oh, I didn't, by the way, I saw, and then we were in the middle of, like, a conversation. I don't think that I had a chance to say goodbye to Radio. I hope that in the event that Radio either hears this currently or still is in earshot for some reason, it was wonderful to meet them, and I hope that we will see them again. It's always fun when, like, you know, we're just sort of, like, having some random... Oops. Okay, I'm completely failing at doing anything good on that. Whatever it's called. Trampoline. When like, some random topic comes up, like, oh, the Steam Summer Sale, and then somebody's, like, first chat is like, oh, yeah, I'm really excited about that, and then we wind up getting into a conversation about that, or, you know, really any other thing. That's always cool. I like it when people, as always, like, big fan of lurkers and people feeling cool about just, like, sitting back and watching. But yeah, when somebody feels comfortable to, like, introduce themselves and say hello, that's great. Samlin is saying, and I hope this is a joke, gut biome transplant is when they take poop out of one person and put it into another. Also, I am very close to this one now. By the way, Samlander, how was D&D today? We raided over with Mia. I got to see a little bit of it. I was working on a side project throughout the entire time, so it was like I was in Mia's stream, and she made a lot of progress, but I just didn't have as much opportunity to chat and interact as I would have liked to. I am not doing that on purpose. I wanted to visit this person because we may be able to... I feel like we've had a thingamabob for a while. Let's... I'm not sure that I actually need a bolted bludgeon. But it never hurts to have a spare.
Another satisfied customer.
Okay, where am I delivering the mail to? To that person right there.
Carrier here. Here's a message.
Thank you. Well, it's about time.
Pardon?
It's from my boyfriend. He's finally leaving his wife.
Ah, congratulations.
My wife and I separated months ago. She was very understanding. I'm just glad Len finally got the courage to be honest to his wife. Now, we can get on with our lives.
So apparently this is an actual thing. See, I hadn't heard of it. Jody K is saying we've had to give a few cats fecal transplants with chronic diarrhea from salmonellosis, which I'm probably not saying correctly. Luckily for cats, they've made a pill for it, and Crow is saying, yeah, they're still working on the human one. I'll say this, like, I hadn't known that that was a thing. If you asked me to choose between living with a condition where even incidental contact with one of the allergens would cause me death, or like a poop transplant from one human being to another, I will absolutely do the poop transplant. And anyone who says that they would make a different decision, I don't believe you. There are bandits down there. We're just going to not pay attention to them. I don't get to do the drop kick anymore. Hello to Mia! Mia, we were just actually talking about your stream earlier today. Mia made a lot of progress in... If I call it Island 359, are those the right numbers? It's like 350 something, and I want to say that it's 359, but I may be confusing that. Yeah, Island 359 is... Imagine if you were visiting Jurassic Park, or sorry, it's more like, what was it called, Site B? Remember in Jurassic Park 2, they went to Site B, which was where all of their, like original R&D had been, so there wasn't a park, but there were dinosaurs. That's pretty much what Island 359 is. You're not visiting a failed park, or trying to rehabilitate a failed park, but there are dinosaurs, and they want to kill you. And it's in VR, so it's a good time, and very, very sort of like, very present. Mia has one particular clip, not from today's episode, but an earlier one, where she was like reading chat, and a little like compy came up and started like gnawing at her. And she went, "Wah!" and started like kicking at it because she has like sensors for her legs. It's very funny. Because chat could see this little dinosaur like coming up, like getting curious, and like making a beeline for her, and Mia was much more focused in the foreground of it. Crow, if you're still here. So, Crow, I had not seen the other day. Maybe it was yesterday. You had asked, like, you had another recommendation for Mia similar to Ashwalkers or Black Book. And if you're still here, then I'm sure that Mia would be curious in the game that you were going to recommend. I apologize for not having seen that. Otherwise, I would have answered it in the moment.
Hello, I'm from the Carriers Guild. I have a letter for Barry.
Mom? Mommy! It's a letter from Dad.
Careful. Don't tear the letter when you open it.
I won't, Mom. I swear.
Bless you, Carrier. You made my son's day.
Okay. I honestly thought that it was going to be a letter like, "I'm leaving you. You're a burden."
I have a letter for you.
Finally.
I'm sorry, sir. I brought the letter as soon as it was given to me.
I'm not upset with you. It's my son. Weeks without hearing from him. Thought he was dead. No concern for his father. I'm thankful for you, Carrier. At least now I know my idiot son is still alive.
Hey, Driscoll. Job's done. All packages delivered safely.
Well, that's what I want to hear. Come by when you can. I've got something for you. Remember, you can always take the metro to get here quicker.
Okay, I mean, I wouldn't object to using the metro to get there. Unless there's something in this area that I should do. And actually, we do have the story quest. Find the missing squad. Let's go do this. It's been a very long time since we've done story quest. It's nearby, and it doesn't require us to visit it at night. Also, Crow is confirming that she did send it over to Mia, which yeah, if it was in a DM, had I seen the message, Crow, I would have said, I think that Mia will be very cool with that. And Mia's confirming that it's called Contrast and that it looks really neat. I feel I feel like I have heard of this or seen it, but I'm not confident enough in it to be trying to describe it. I have a feeling that when I see this, I will say like, oh yeah, I've heard of this. I've definitely not played it though. Grumpy has had progressive glasses for 5 years. Sam Lander says, I do my story quests at night so I can zombie fight.
This feud is silly.
Sorry, everybody. Let's get out of here. What I mean is sorry for the terrible singing. There's always that interesting thing about, like, you know, the stream ends and then I get the, hey, you missed a message from Crow, and then I'll look back and be like, oh man, like, I feel like our viewers understand that you can get a little bit caught up in the zombie of it all. And it was like the very next thing that Crow had said in that stream I saw and responded to. I just completely missed the, hey, what about this? Also, Crow, was that app's first session with V Rising? And also, what did he think of it? I think that I would be all over V Rising if it was released. The fact that it is still in early access is my only hold up on it. Okay.
You gotta help me.
Hold on. It is his third or fourth session of it. Oh. Okay, I believe we had some business to conclude. Okay, now we're gonna head up here. Let's check the journal, because this is main story mission. This is actually right here. The squad that Raynor had dispatched to search for UV lamps hasn't returned to base. I needed to resolve this matter quickly, oops, so I went to find the missing unit. We've done it as quickly as I felt like doing. That matters. Maxine, thank you so much for the resubscription. Crow says he's liking it a lot. I don't think there's any real reason for it to stay in early access. It's pretty much a finished product at this point, but they want to be sure. I've heard that. Yeah, I think it was Drienne had also played a lot of it and said exactly the same thing about it. Like, this is in early access in the same way that, like, No Man's Sky was a finished product. Like, the label just doesn't mean anything. I don't know who's spitting at me. I am inside, so find the missing squad. Okay. This really sucks. Apparently we're in Sniper Town today.
Hey! Is anyone there?
Oh, I'm no longer in the search zone. Okay, we gotta go back over this way. Yeah, V Rising, like, we own it. I've never played a second of it, and I've actually been trying to avoid seeing too much of it in other people's streams so that I can sort of, like, learn it for myself. It would probably, I think, make a lot more sense to... They really gave me that one. It would probably make a lot more sense to try out V Rising rather than continue looking at Diablo 4. Grumpy, have a great night. feel like I've fought these dudes before. Not to say that I'm good at it, though. Okay, I would like a couple things. I would like some bandages. I would like a regeneration booster. I'd like to not be standing next to that person. I mean, I don't want to waste a spear on that dude, but I will do whatever it takes. Wow, okay. Shit. Arrgh. Okay. See, this guy, Wrecking Ball, he's somebody that I might use the muscle booster for, but we've got him at like 1/4 lives. If he didn't have such an entourage, this would probably be done. Okay, we've crossed the halfway mark on our mutation samples. Crow has another recommendation. Crow, I would actually love it if you pasted it here so that I could see it as well. Oops. Well, double mace. I'm not going to not have that.
Not gonna lie.
Good job, man. You showed him. You're a goddamn superhero. That beast had us trapped here. Wouldn't go away. It attacked us right as we got here. Mark got hurt pretty bad. We barely escaped and huddled up here. Finally went quiet not long ago. We thought that thing had wandered off. Next thing we hear is you banging on our barricade, and then it all started again.
I'm looking for Demolin. You guys seen him?
Up top. Come on. Let's get you to a doctor. Thanks, man.
So based on the link, it looks like Crow is recommending Signalis. I've heard excellent things about Signalis. My limited understanding of it is that it's sort of like a PlayStation 1 style horror game. And since Mia did not play those games back in the day, I don't know what she will make of it. It would be really interesting to find out. I have a game on my docket that is also sort of like of that same idea, sort of like a modern, brand new, but sort of bathed in the aesthetic and some of the design principles of a PlayStation 1 style horror game. And my thought is that we'll probably visit that in either September or October, because that's a good time of year for that.
I'm Aiden.
Not bad, not bad. Aiden, nice to meet you. Your skills are exceptional, and you don't look like a peacekeeper to me. So who are you?
I'm a pilgrim. I haven't been here long.
A pilgrim? Did you travel far to reach the city?
Quite a long way, yes. Why?
Have you been to Marseille by any chance?
I'm sorry. I never heard of the place.
My hometown. I wonder what's become of it.
And what was Marseille like?
My father was a shopkeeper. He sold paints. Artists from all over the world would come especially for this one shade of Thénard's bleu. It was a famous shop. And my dearest memory is of how it smelled. Here, the only scent is of damp rags, or sweat, or rotting flesh. And the colors? There are only two. Day or night. But hey, you didn't come to listen to my memories.
Juan told me to check up on you and the lamps.
Ah, the lamps. Piece of cake, he says. Huh, no such luck. We found a few, but it wasn't what you would call a bountiful harvest. And it came at great cost. The corporal killed by the beast outside has a brother in the unit. He will be devastated. He is at present with a squad down south on the lower dam promenade. They have not reported in.
That doesn't sound good.
We need to find him. The boy's mother lost her husband in a dark zone just last week. Now, a son. If her other son were to perish, it would be too much for any mother to bear.
I'll try to find him.
Okay. The boy's name is Sebastian. The islands are a dangerous area. Worse since the renegades overran them. Remember, the boy's name is Sebastian.
I'm no one.
Speaking of comments that I, well, in this case, did see, but then didn't circle back to in the way that I had intended, Jab had asked earlier, like, why are there so many different accents in this game? And one, like, I think that my response to that would be a little bit based on, does anybody know where in the world Villedor is supposed to be? I'm assuming this is not a real city, but both the architecture and the like references to like Marseille, which sounds like it would be Marseille, France. I don't know. Oh, it's further downstairs. Would lead me to believe this is sort of like mainland Europe, right? So if that's the case, then I would say that the variety of different accents would be a combination of it being originally having been kind of like a nice metropolitan tourist-friendly area that would have drawn people and business people, like both visitors, tourists, and business people from all around the world. And also that once it became the last bastion of humanity, anybody that could make their way here would have done so. So there would have been a lot of, oh, there's books right over here. It would have drawn a population from a wide variety of different places. But I don't know. That's not going to go well. Yeah, we're going to have to come back to, tonight for this. So let me just double check. This is... Hold on. But where's the... Okay, so there's the bookmark. Okay. Just wanted to double check. Now, I do want to go over here for the Lost Light. Well, as long as I'm here. Jabba said that he thought that they said it was in the USA. I don't believe so. He was also thinking that it was in Europe as well, but they said USA. I haven't, like...
How you doing there?
Hold on.
Oh, great. Supply are quite a helpless bunch, it seems.
What did you expect? There were ordinary people before the fall. Craftsmen, teachers, gardeners, not fighters.
Does anybody who wouldn't, like, who doesn't care about spoilers? Because I don't want to look up anything about the game for fear of, like, what else I might discover. But if somebody
Newspaper. You can't call
cared to check out where, like, what part of the world this game takes place in, I would be curious. Because I don't remember them specifying that it was inside the United States. In the opening cutscene, the map seemed non-descriptive when it was sort of like showing that this last light of humanity was here, but it didn't like identify it like where it was on the globe that I recall.
Sometimes people get the feeling that there's no one left in the city. And
Because if this is I mean, first of all, the architecture doesn't seem remotely similar. Well, then again, I don't know every place in the United States. If I didn't know that New Orleans existed and somebody like showed me pictures of it, I would also...
Renegades. More of them.
Again? That's crazy. It has to be part of something the Butcher and Waltz are brewing. But why now?
Sebastian, come by. Do you copy? Tobias, Sebastian, do you read?
Anybody else want to stick their head up over the wall? Because this is great for me.
Found your men. Some of them, at least. I'm sorry to say. They're dead.
Aiden? You sure? How many?
2 bodies. Both quite dead.
The squad had 5 men. There are 3 others. There's still hope.
Okay, I'll look for them.
Also, I checked their pockets and they were all completely empty. Just in case you were wondering about that. I didn't find anything on them. I really want to have my, whatever this is. What? Hold on, I'm just curious. Because this looks like a big, like, metal block attached to a stick. Railing. Sure, makes sense. Jeff said that he did Google it and they said Europe. Yeah, that would have been my assumption, partially based on the wide variety of different accents that we get here. But when you said that they said that it was in the United States, I was like, did they? Because, okay, now hold on, because, well, we're inside the quest area. I was about to say it's about to be midnight. Or midnight. It's about to be nighttime. It's always interesting to, like, be spending an extended amount of time not knowing something that the game assumes that you did know. Or, in some cases, the movie. I still remember when we went to go see Wonder Woman in the theaters, and, like, literally in the last, like, 5 minutes of the movie, somebody, like, the seat behind us goes, "Oh, World War I." I will always remember that. This poor person sat here, like, thoroughly confused about which World War was taking place on screen. I am not... Oh, hi, Dodgy. So, I'm sorry, I'm having difficulty discerning what the quest area is and whether or not I want to do it if we've got other things that we could be doing at night, like going to go get the books or closure or some of this other stuff. Because we can do this any day, any time at all. Oh, follow the blood trail. I super was not doing that. Hold on a second. Can I go back upstairs? Can we restart this? Pick the trail back up. Okay, so here's the bodies. The blood trail, yeah, okay, here we go. So the blood trail, see, now I've sprayed about a bunch more blood. Yep, okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm not going to go into the bus to get that stuff. I really want to... In a perfect...
They were totally berserk.
It's crazy, I know. Something must have happened to them. They used to be regular soldiers, at least most of them. But now they're more like living virals. They're mad. They kill everyone in their path.
Like mad? What do you mean?
Dave Williams treats them like animals, and they go wild.
The butcher is crazy, like they say.
Crazy and unpredictable.
Hello to Fox McCloud. Shit. I really tried to dodge. I tried to get in like an extra, like, heavy hit. Oh, crud. I got the boot. Okay, I feel like I started to lose the trail there. Here we go. Well, there's really no reason at all not to grab these mutations. I feel on the clock, even though I'm very much not. Like, we could just not do this and go do the... one of the nighttime things, but it just feels thematically kind of weird. I apparently can't take down. But as we're going through, A, hello to Fox, and B, Signalis is a very strong recommendation, Crow. Like, I don't know what Mia will make of it, but it would be very interesting to find out. And that game has a very good reception. Like, that's one of those games that came out. It's like, it seemed to really catch on with everybody who, like, has fond memories of the era of gaming that is looking to evince. Jab says, get a good look at the car plates. That would settle it. I will take a look. Harmless Crew says it's very sassy. Oh, really? And right up Mia's alley. Noir and dark. I did not know it was sassy. Oh, by the way, the game that I'm thinking of is called Chasing Static. Or, it's sometimes stylized as like, it's like what Channel 4, Sing, something else. But it's Chasing Static, which is also available on Steam. We picked that up in an earlier sale, and I saw somebody play like the first like 3 minutes of it, and then looked at the reviews and was like, oh yeah, I want to check this out. So I'm going into it largely unspoiled. We may discover that it's not actually for me, but I will be happy to check it out.
Hey! Hello? Over here! Help us!
Found him.
Another trespasser!
Sorry, some of these guys have like height advantage, okay? That's a good point about the license plates. That would also be a good indicator about what part of the world we're in. I remember, this is an old deep cut, as so many of my references are, but I remember when Nickelodeon started advertising for the Tomorrow People. I think that's what it was called, and it was ostensibly a show. Well, I'm not going to go up there if you're just going to stand up there at the top of the ladder. Whoops, nope.
Eat this motherfucker!
Really? Okay. Well, we got there eventually. And I couldn't possibly tell you about what the Tomorrow People was supposed to be about. I have a vague memory of it being about, like, kids or teenagers from the future traveling back in time in an attempt to stop some sort of, like, catastrophe. But it was very much like, it was a show on Nickelodeon. So that gives you a sense of both the, what's it called? The size and scope of this project. It was mostly about, like, being like not a comedy, but like a drama for kids or whatever. And I remember seeing like just a little bit of it, and it's like, where in the world is this taking place? Because they have very... So, just for the record, I thought that I could jump it. When I realized mid-fall that I could not, I did in fact hold down X to open up the paraglider, and it did not work. Respawn. But yeah, whatever country the Tomorrow People took place in had very, very long license plates. Probably standard length license plates for other parts of the world, but to me it was like, wow, if you needed to radio this in to like a traffic cop, you know, you'd have to get a drink first.
Yeah. I gave you everything. I've nothing left.
Okay, hopefully this is where I'm supposed to be. Hello.
Stop, don't move.
Hey, you guys all right?
Me, yeah. Sebastian, not so much.
Also, Crow, have you personally played Signalis? And, well, actually, you obviously have, because you called it Noir and Dark. Did you finish it? I'm curious what your... Like, clearly you enjoyed it if you're recommending it to others.
How is he?
Pretty bad. Goddamn renegades. Don't know why there's suddenly so many of them in the center. Came at us so hard and fast. Only Seb and I managed to get away.
You able to walk?
I won't leave him alone. Not when he's like this.
He needs a new bandage. This one's a mess.
I don't have any more. Listen, did Demlin tell you about him?
Oh yeah, about his brother and father?
No, not that. Sebastian is an artist. Demlin promised him to take him one day to Marseille. To his father's shop. He can't die like this. Please.
Why would I not help him?
This should help. I'm sure I'll be fine, but I was sent here for the lamps. Where are they?
After we drove off the renegades, we reached the building. To get in, we strung some ropes across from the next roof. And that's when the renegades attacked again.
And the lamps?
They're still on the landing pad on the roof. The military hid them well, made sure no one could see them from above. Seba only saw them from the next building, through binoculars. But we didn't get a chance to finish securing the ropes.
Is there any other way to get there?
You could go through the building, but like I said, wall-to-wall biters.
I gotcha. I'll try the rope.
You'd have to be a spider to climb in. And it's swarming with renegades outside.
I like taking chances. Take this, contact Demlin, and tell him what happened here. I'll go get those lamps.
Sam Melinder's dropping a lurk. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to respond. Sam Melinder had, lyrics which I confess, Sam Melinder, I don't know Das Boot. I mean, I know of it, but I do not know the song that you're referencing from it. Unfortunately, it is true. We've given up on the classics. Military convoy. I don't need that right now. It is... Oh, it's still early. Like, look, it's 2200. So, let's go do the Nick, which is actually right here. And if we're super quick, we could do the other one, too. An ex-GRE surgeon has asked me to obtain a pacemaker for his wife. Okay, I need to get up there. Feels a little bit weird to ignore one person's cries for help so that I can go help somebody else who apparently is doing okay. As we go in here, this is... Okay, we've already cleared this facility of inhibitors, which, by the way, it keeps telling me that I have unspent inhibitors. Let's get a health upgrade. We are now... Uh-oh. Sometimes Aiden does like a full body freak out when he does an inhibitor upgrade, but not this time. Yeah, Samlander, thank you very much for the lurk. Thank you very much for being here. By the way, I do expect that we will be raiding over to Jelly Buns. Jelly Buns is doing a subathon, and as I understand it, I think the goal is a cumulative 24-hour stream, but this is going to involve, as it would for, like, just maintaining your quality of life. I've not seen that animation before, where he knocks somebody's head into the wall. Pretty cool. But Jelly Buns is going to be going for a certain amount of time, then leaving the stream running, I believe, while she goes to sleep. Then she will be resuming the stream, and cumulatively, like, she'll be live and talking and playing games for 24 hours. I should probably just move on. But the actual length of time that I think Jelly Buns is planning to be live, it will be somewhat longer. Because they're going to stay live during the times that you can sleep and eat and do other things that you need to do in order to be alive as a human. Okay, I am right here.
Okay, got it.
If we're lucky, we might be able to go do the other one. The surgeon, I'm hoping that we can meet during the daytime. Like, you'd like to think that he wouldn't only accept the pacemaker after hours. Nope, this is... I want to go out. Okay. So rather than going to him directly, let's go over here. I met a man who claimed his family was using their deceased father's valuables as offerings to an infected they believe could resurrect the dead. The distraught man asked me to recover his family heirlooms. I will be surprised if this person doesn't turn out to be completely full of shit. Like, the valuables are real. I mean the rest of it. Oh, okay. Hey, this person is still suffering, so we can give him something. Oh, hold on. Crow has another recommendation.
Thank you for saving me. Can I give you this?
Yes, I'll take an endurance booster. Crow is recommending the Bookwalker Thief of Tales. So this one I've not heard of. Like, Contrast, I'm pretty sure that I have heard of. Like, to the point where I think I can envision what the header image is, but not enough to, like, try to describe it. Because I might be off. But Bookwalker, I definitely have not.
Got my brother killed.
I didn't mean for him to get hurt.
But he did, because of you. Stop conning others to run your dangerous errands. If I so much as get a whiff you pull this on anyone else, I'm turning you in.
Hey.
Who are you? Another one of this fool's errand boys? Whatever. I don't give a shit. I'm getting out of here.
What's going on here? What was he talking about?
You see, before the fall, I was an actor. Not even a good one.
You don't say.
Bereft of a stage, I took my craft to the streets and became a con artist. But not a very good one of those either, as I'm still quite poor.
Everything you said about your father, your family?
Yeah, it was a lie. I had to convince you to retrieve those valuables for me. The legend of the creature is real. Well, as real as the bandits who invented it to trick people into offering up their valuables. They come by later and collect them. I didn't dare go there myself and risk them catching me. So I figured I'd have someone else go. I'm a greedy, lazy bastard. What do you want from me?
Well, at least you're honest about one thing.
I try. Sometimes. Like now. You survived the ordeal. Keep the spoils for your trouble. As for me, the curtain's going down. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. To die, to sleep, no more, and by by a sleep to say we end the heartache. And? Well?
Well, if you had a day job, I say not to quit it.
Well, at least we didn't, you know, suffer the indignity of having to hand over the valuables. I don't even know what they were. Wait. Okay. Not to break the fiction too much, but I think that the game might have spawned a zombie in a room that they weren't intended to be in. Okay, so we finished Closure. Now, we could go back to Lost Light, but that, again, doesn't actually require us to be at night. So, we could try to get over here. I feel like it's a ways. And we could fast travel here. Yeah, I want to try to do as much as we can tonight. Yeah, Bookwalker. I'll have to check that out. It's always fun to, like, come across some game that's, like, up your alley, but you just didn't know. Like Riftbreaker is a perfect example. If it hadn't have been for Jägermeister, I never would have... Well, I don't want to say never, but Jägermeister was my source of information about Riftbreaker. I'd never heard of it. Nobody ever mentioned it. It wasn't being, you know... didn't come up in any of the forum threads or anything else that I like to read, so that was a Jägermeister special, discovering that game. So when somebody recommends something like Bookwalker or something else, it's like, well, I haven't heard of it, but there's a galaxy of games out there that I don't know. Nope. You know, you don't know what you haven't heard of yet. I was really hoping this would be a throughway. Oh, and it is. I will search this bag. So I will, perhaps not to my wisdom, be attempting to do this while a chase is going on. Okay, so now we've just got to get in here. X to move. X to move. Oh, no! No! You guys, sorry, I shouldn't be... Hold on. Move. I was about to say, did it interrupt the animation in a way where now we don't get to open it, but it worked itself out. I was feeling despair there, like, oh, will it reset? I was immediately thinking, like, do you think if we fast travel someplace that the door or whatever will reset? If I wait until the next day. Hold on, I would really like the electrical parts. There we go. To this day, the most effective horror game that I've played is still Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly. That is the only game that I was too scared to continue playing. I think, like at least theoretically, Eternal Darkness might fall into the same category, but not really, because Eternal Darkness, I had some extremely strange dreams about after I played, but that was not like, and they were unsettling, but what they weren't was, like, the reason that I stopped playing. Okay, let me try this again. I stopped playing Crimson Butterfly. I don't know why I can't get up there. This scaffolding is apparently made of anti-Aiden magnetism, so we're gonna have to find a different way out of here. What I'm looking for at this instant is a way out of this compound. There are several. I'm just trying to work out which one of them will get me to where I want to be. Okay. I'm optimistic that we can get to whatever this safe house is and activate it. Crud. Okay. Crimson Butterfly is the only game that I ever said, this game is like getting inside my sleep in a way where I'm not getting any rest, so I need to stop playing it now. Eternal Darkness is a game where I had such incredibly vivid dreams about it after playing it that... Hold on. Nope. They're not going to stop, apparently. It is a chase, after all. It's really wanted this healing gunk. Okay. Okay. Now, can we get this started with zombies on our ass? Well, there's none of them right here, right now, so... Ah ha ha ha! Just in time. We're just gonna watch that guy burn out, and I'm gonna grab this. Yeah, I've shared the story on a couple of occasions. Actually, maybe only one occasion. It's not one that I share, but I know that Crow definitely hasn't heard it. So, I used to play Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly in the original Xbox. Hold on, before we get into this. It's 5 a.m. I think it's very unlikely that we're going to get anywhere that we can do something tonight, so I'm not going to worry about it. Instead, we're going to try to find this inhibitor container if we can. So I used to play this game late at night, and it was the summertime. It was just like this. So I would, at the time I lived alone, and I would put on the air conditioner to cool down the room, and then I would have to turn off the air conditioner if I wanted to play the game and not have sort of like any sort of electrical problem. So there was this. I know this sounds like a minor detail, but there was this kind of like background element, this creeping dread of like the temperature in the room and the humidity level was slowly going up, which was just sort of like always in the back of my mind. It's not something that I was terrified by, but it did like add this psychological element of like, you're on a timetable. Now, the storyline of Crimson Butterfly, it's been 2 decades, right? Like, I just don't remember anymore. But you are one of a set of twin girls, and your twin sister suddenly like wanders off into the mist, and you're trying to find her. And in Fatal Frame, like, you can use the camera to both see and try to take pictures of the fuck is this? What? I don't know what killed me. Like, obvious electricity, but what was the electricity, I don't know. you're one of two twin girls, your twin sister goes missing, you're trying to find her, and this game is heavily steeped in, you know, we were talking about JRPGs. This game is heavily steeped in J-horror, Japanese horror. So it has all of these, like, really disturbing ghosts like forms of phantasm and stuff. And the game did something really interesting, which was when you were walking around, my memory is that it controlled very much like an average first-person game, but when you raised the camera, it actually changed the controls so that the 6 did something completely different. So the camera itself felt like weird and like difficult to use, and I, to this day, don't know if that was an intentional choice, but it felt like an intentional choice. Like, you would be under this incredible pressure to, like, get the camera up and get, you know, you only have limited film in this thing, and you're trying to line up a kill picture on this spirit so that you can get it before it gets you. So I'm in this environment where, like, the tone of the game is overwhelmingly oppressive, and the room that I'm in is oppressive because the temperature is slowly ticking up, and your only way to defend yourself with the pressure of having a very limited amount of camera film is to aim this camera. Like, it did something like super weird where like looking up, down, left, and right was suddenly on the left stick, and to take the picture was like on the Y button. It was a very strange control scheme, at least by my standards, which made it difficult to use. So the pressure to like do it well was there. And on one, I remember specifically one particular night, I was playing this in the dead of night. I made some progress. The game was very scary. I stopped playing it. I turned the air conditioner back on. The temperature started to go down. I got into bed and I went to sleep. And that night, I had this incredibly vivid dream that I woke up and the television was still on, and your sister from the game was on the screen. And I thought, oh man, I left the game on. That's weird. And then I came to realize that the sister was looking at me. She was looking out of the television. The game wasn't being played. There was no on-screen interface. She was looking out directly at me. And that was very unsettling. And then she pushed her hand up against the glass of the screen on the inside, like she was trying to push her way through. And there was this expression on her face that she very much wanted to get to the other side of the glass, to where I was. I didn't like that very much. So at that point, I attempted to exit the room in a very calm and collected fashion, allow me to assure you. So I put my hand on the knob of the door, and the knob would not turn. And then my hand would not come off of the knob. It was stuck to the knob of the door that wouldn't turn, and I couldn't release the door, and I couldn't open the door, and the glass around the screen was starting to fog up as the sister was attempting to push her way through. And I remember the last thing that I realized just before waking up was the realization that she was not trying to get at me. She was concerned for me because there was something else in the room that she had been trying to warn me about. And that was when I woke up. And I never played that game again. And this is a true story. That is an honest-to-God dream that I had, having played the game. It is one of the most vivid and memorable dreams that I've ever had. Like I said, it's been years, and I still remember that experience, and I've never played that game again. I've actually picked up other Fatal Frame games because I hugely respect it as a series, but every time I've gone to like maybe try to play it again, I've remembered what it was like playing it the last time, and I can always somehow think of something else to play. Oh. Yeah, that final moment of realizing that there's something else in the room with me And, like, that was what, like, got me up. This entire thing in the real world couldn't have been more than, like, 90 seconds. But inside of the dream, it felt like an eternity. It always stuck with me. That's the scariest game that I've ever played.
Hen, you can't just run off like that, Henny. Granny's not as spry as she once was.
Henny, I'm not...
Aren't you cold, darling? You never knew how to dress appropriately. I remember back in preschool how you would put your undies on your head.
I'm sorry, but I think you're mistaking me for somebody.
It's about time you made it back here, Henny. I'm feeling a bit out of sorts today. Why am I even standing here? Aha! Did you get... Do you have those, you know... Help me out here, Henny.
I'm sorry, I'm Aiden. Aiden. And I really have to get going.
Pills. That's it. You were supposed to bring me my pills. Ran out this morning. And my mind's all sort of foggy.
I'd like to help, but I... Okay, let's see.
Let's just go with where the pills are.
Where do you usually keep these pills, ma'am?
No matter, Henny. You were supposed to refill my script at the pharmacy.
Pharmacies aren't really open for business these days.
God, I've forgotten everything. Ah, I know. This group of nice boys came this morning for coffee. No, it was for tea. And they made me... I lent them my last bottle. They had such funny masks on their faces.
You were robbed by renegades?
Ah, yes. That might be what they called themselves. But they were nice boys.
All right, don't worry, Grandma. I'll ask those boys to give it back. Where did they go after that?
Somewhere over there. To those abandoned apartments behind me, I guess. Darling, don't you boys get up to too much mischief together. I'll be waiting with a hot cup of tea by the windmill south of the VNC Tower.
Maxine, have a great night. I'm sorry that cutscene came on just as I saw, but I hope you have a great evening and a very restful night. Hopefully it is not uncomfortable where you are. Okay. I would very much like to help her out. I would like to deliver the oh boy. The pacemaker and maybe get the pills as well. So, maybe I'm not looking at them properly or something. I don't get to do the drop kick anymore. Oh, as we're sort of like searching through, if anybody was looking to revisit the magical world of A Plague Tale, Patikin is going to be replaying A Plague Tale Innocence starting on Monday, and then this will be followed by his first ever playthrough of A Plague Tale Requiem. Now, that second one is also on my list that I'd very much like to play.
So they are here. Grandma might be confused, but her memory's just fine for some things. I hope these pills help her.
Shit. Oh, darn it. Well, I don't want them to turn to zombies. Let's go ahead and kill that one. Maybe we can get the scratches while the other one is coughing his cognizance out. I will pre-announce, by the way, Grandma could offer me another, like, electrified katana. I don't want to take any reward for this.
At your age? Do you think it's caused by the windmill?
I would help this person out regardless, and I don't think that it would be fair to enter into any sort of, like, a contract with somebody who has a floating teapot.
Here you go, ma'am. I mean, Grandma, I got your pills.
Took your sweet time, Jerry. Had to grab a pint with your mates after work again, is that it? You could have let me know before we got married. The day were your true loves. Well, here's your tea. See what kind of wife you have?
Wait. Oh, I hate this. Okay, look, I don't know what's morally right here. From my limited understanding, attempting to disagree with or argue with somebody when they have mistaken you for like a past loved one, that can be alarming. That can be very uncomfortable for them. It can make them, I don't have the right word, but it can not put them into a very good place, because there's a separation between what they believe to be true and what they're being told, and it can be very uncomfortable. At the same time, pretending to be your husband doesn't feel very good either. So I'm going to take the tact that I believe is going to be less alarming and uncomfortable for her, but it's only because I'm very worried about the way that this might go. I'm not comfortable about this either, but...
Oh, the best kind. And after a hard day's work, a pint with the guys is a pardonable offense, isn't it? Take this, darling. You'll feel better.
That's so sweet you brought them, Aiden.
Wait. So, you remember my name? You know who I am?
Oh, my. Oh, all right. I might have exaggerated my memory problems a little bit. One can get used to this epidemic, even to the infected. But to loneliness? Never. What's the point of surviving if I have no one to share my life with? And you. Do you have a grandmother still alive? Do you drop by for tea with her?
Never had a grandma.
Truly? Then you do not even know what you are missing. I know so many stories. Would you like to listen?
I'd love to.
Drop by whenever you feel like it, and I'll be glad to tell you.
Infected got him.
I don't know if we'll be allowed to do that, but I think that I would want to. It's a little disappointing about the teapot there. Look, it's not like Aiden's gonna, like, go out clubbing. Well, not in the party sense. And it's not like he's gonna, like, has a hot movie to go to or something like that. Oral histories might be the... Ooh. Serial shot sounds like a good time. Oral histories and stories would be, I think, really valuable in a case like this, and she wants to share them. Why wouldn't we want to learn that? Perform a jump right after a smash, giving you the opportunity to follow up with another aerial attack. I'm never gonna do that. Parkour shot. Gain the ability to use ranged weapons while parkouring. Yeah, good luck. Maybe if I had a mouse and keyboard, and even then, the overcorrection would be withering. So, let's go with serial shot, because I definitely feel like I can put some use for that. Mark up to 3 targets and release to open fire. Well, I will do my best. Now, if I could also drop off the pacemaker, I feel like that would be something else that I'd like to do. Yes, pacemaker is currently selected and is over here. And apparently something that it's got to be nighttime to turn in. Well... Yeah, I'm just taking a look to see where these, like, question marks are. And then this would be... Oh, we could go talk to Driscoll. Or at least get into position to talk to Driscoll. That would be something that we can do during the daytime. Alright, and I'm going to say that this is going to be probably the best opportunity to save it, because... the game would start us at this safe zone anyway, and when we come back for the next episode, we'll be able to do the next carrier mission, followed by doing the Turning in the pacemaker, because I just don't want to like run around for another full day. It is a little bit after 9. Some Saturdays will go a lot later, but this one, it's going to be an interesting week coming up because it's going to be the last week before my upcoming July vacation, and that means it'll be very busy just getting things in line. So even though it's Saturday, it feels like a good place to call it. You guys, this was a lot of fun. Thank you very much for hanging out, and if she is still live, we're going to go raid over to Jelly Buns to throw some love her way during the subathon that she has going on. Until next time, you guys, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great night.